Good morning, everybody. Happy weekend, Westerly. It is Saturday morning, and if it's Saturday morning, then that means that it can only be time for one thing. And I know that we haven't done this in a little while, but I'm very excited because we're back, baby. It's been a very busy spring. It's been a very, very, very busy spring. And this man has been all over the place calling five sports almost every single night of the week. But we are back and we will be doing this show every single Saturday morning. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only, the voice, Greg Murano.
Hello, everybody. And it is good to be back on a Saturday morning. Yeah, I know we had a little hiatus, but it's been crazy in the spring. And I thought that previous springs have been crazy. But man, to have five teams, five playoff teams, four division leaders. Today is going to be a comeback show. I didn't really give a lot of people notice because I wasn't sure. But it's going to be like a regular season wrap up for everybody. And we're going to have Coach Spizzato, the baseball coach, on very shortly. And then we're going to get into some other guests as the season progresses. Clearly, as the season ends, we'll have their players and coaches on as well. And hopefully it's not for a while because I know we got a lot of teams, four outdoor teams that are on top of the division and a volleyball team. Let me talk about Scrappy. They had pulled off four in a row right when they needed it, including a victory over an undefeated team, an 11-0 team. So that being said, like I said, I'm going to go around the five sports we cover here today and what they have left because they're not baseball and softball go far longer than lacrosse does. And they have several games left. And I talked to Coach Donato. I texting with him before the show, and his season ends crazy. They have two tie games now. They need to wrap up. We did the East Providence home game, the walk off. The next day, he'll explain to you that ended up in a tie, which has to be rectified. And that's a coin toss. I mean, you go into a game cold with a cold pitcher, two hits and it's over. You travel all the way across the state, and you can be that fast. So he'll get into that. And Coach Luppy doing his thing with softball. That being said, how have you enjoyed being back into things, Ben? Being with us a little bit.
Well, I mean, I've enjoyed it a lot. I gotta be honest, this spring has been absolute chaos for me. Um, I moved May 1st, so the last few weeks of April and the first few weeks of May have just been absolute chaos. As you can tell, like my office at home isn't set up yet entirely. I was rushing around this morning trying to figure out if I had enough stuff to go live because I moved things around. I'm on folding tables right now because I haven't gotten my desk here yet. So like, you know, life has been chaos and I haven't been in the booth with you as much as I would have liked to this spring, and so I haven't been as closely involved as I normally have been throughout the rest of the year, and as much as I'd like. But it seems like every single time I turn on a game, we're winning, which is amazing. And I know that so many of these teams, like you said, the four outdoor teams are all at the top of their division. The girls lacrosse team just absolutely crushing opponents every step of the way. I tuned in last night to boys lacrosse for their game, and when I tuned in, it was 12-2, and these are the types of situations. Meanwhile, baseball, the last second heroics seem to be in every other game situation right now, which is fantastic. And I think that's I was talking to Ryder Cassidy about they had a game a couple weeks ago. The boys lacrosse team, Ryder Cassidy, the senior goalkeeper for boys lacrosse. I was talking to him a couple weeks ago for they had a game that we did on a tape delay, and it was a close one, right? It was a real close game. He had some epic saves in that it came down to the wire. Um, And you know, he was like, I mean, we would have liked to have won it, more dominantly, but whatever. And I was like, no, that's the like you want these. You want close games. You want, especially not in the playoffs, right? You want them heading up to it. You want to face a little bit of adversity because it's going to build your character as a team. Figuring out how to win those close games, which is exactly what baseball is doing right now. Figuring out how to win those close games when you need to that's the thing that's going to help you the most. If you just dominate every team, then at some point, if you get punched in the mouth, you might not know how to respond to it.
That couldn't be more true. You're absolutely right. I personally don't talk to the coaching staff or whatever, but think that the boys lacrosse lost to Charahoe was the best thing that could happen to them. I think they kind of had plateaued a tiny bit and needed that jump start to let them know this is your last shot, last portion of the season, last portion of your career, some of them, and they've been off to the races since. Again, lacrosse, as far in the boys' world, is it's a different entity. You got the Bulldogs in Smithfield, then you got the rest, and I'll trickle Narragansett up to a spoiler possibility without a doubt. Of course, come playoff time, any team has a chance. But looking at the scoring disparity, both boys and girls, I mean, the girls is unbelievable. They finished in the semifinals last year, 14-5 record, if I remember. I don't have that in front of me. But I know they made it to the Final Four, and it looks like they came back with a vengeance, with anger, with a focused goal, and a first-year head coach and Coach Amato and staff. They are so helpful to me, friendly to me. They're fantastic. What a job they're doing on the field with these young ladies, and they're teaching me the sport as well because the whistles every 15 seconds, and not having a clue why they are being blown. Leads to a choppy broadcast. So he's helping me out, and within about 5 or 6 years, I should have it down, and we'll be good. That being said,
Just 5 or 6.
yeah, I mean, because there's a lot. He eases me in. He gives me like about two is all I can handle a game, and there's a lot more. I mean, he even said that a few years back on their first set of rule changes as a coach, I think it was at a youth level or whatever. He didn't even know why the whistles were being blown, so they've actually made it better. That being said, I feel like whenever I go to Similary Field, I need my blood pressure medication with me. I really do. Whether it's softball or baseball, it seems to always be close heroics, and we'll go with their records, and there's no denying it. But that is what builds the state championship team. That's what happened in 2022. You don't get every time you hit, but when you need one, you get one. And everybody contributes. Like we saw Luke Gwaltney, number 8 lefty. I'm not going to forget how the lefty, and I'm friends with the Gwaltney family, and the kid comes in as a freshman and in a game changing situation and drives a single up the middle. And when you have contributions like that, the sky is the limit. That being said, softball and baseball, when you're on the diamond, anything can happen on any day, and you can be playing a perfect game, and that one little hiccup can end everything. So it's definitely a pressure-packed situation once you get in the playoffs for any sport, obviously. And the Bulldogs with that tandem of pitching they have. Actually, Coach Luppy and the softball team have a tandem in pitching as well. Obviously, Sophia Valentini runs the show. She's been doing it for at least 3 years. I don't know if she did it as a freshman, but I'll tell you what, she has upped her game consistently and made a huge hop this year. So visible from where I sit this year in the confidence, the way she just presents herself physically on the mound, her command presence, and then to the performance. She changes speed. She's controlling the plate. She controls where the batters stand half the time. She's got her velocities up. And I'll tell you right now, with the ability to change speeds, that alone at the high school level is a huge factor, and not alter your delivery so you don't give it away. Those are the killers for me. You can throw me any hook you want, I'll line it up, but you throw me a good changeup and I'll end up throwing the bat into the stands up so far ahead of it. So that that's just great thing going on. I'm trying to add up their records as I speak here, but I should have done that before.
Well, I'll
Either way,
let you. I'll talk about the softball team for a second, so you can do that.
yeah,
There was that softball game. I believe it was Emma Caracciolo with the game winning home run or game tying home run. That was one of the highlights of the year for me covering sports. I literally had said to you earlier in that game, I haven't seen a home run yet in all of the high school. I've never seen a high school home run. I've seen it in the park home run. As we've talked about, I am a graduate of Charahoe High School, and at Charahoe, there's no such thing as a home run. Unless you're, I mean, if you hit it to right field, you can hit it over a fence, but it's a very far away, and that almost never happens. In left field, it's about 700 feet to the woods, and there's no fence whatsoever. So there's just no home runs at Charahoe, and I hadn't seen one during the games that we had been covering, and we were losing
7-1.
7-1, and in the fifth and sixth inning, you and I are talking about where we're going to go for dinner. We're talking about your new shoes. We're talking about all sorts of stuff, just trying to not draw attention to how the game's going and all of that stuff at that moment, just sort of filler. And I just said, hey, maybe we can get a miracle. And I was like, and you were like, yeah, it's possible. It would take a lot. And then just hit after hit after hit. And the girls softball team is much like baseball, much like all of the teams that we've covered this year, they don't give up. They play until the last whistle. They play until the last out. They go, and the conditioning of all of these teams is fantastic. The mental conditioning of all of these teams cannot be understated, which is just a testament to how great the coaching here is in Westerly. These kids are dedicated. They know that they're in the game always. They never give up. They try. And when Emma Caracciolo hit that 3-run home run to tie the game, it was, I think I lost my voice. Like it was one of the coolest moments. Like you said, they were down 7-1, and then when she hit that home run, and then the rally continued, and they won. Like that was just something you never forget.
No, and the more I'm around her, I can call her home runs right off the right. But I'd say about 4 feet off the bat, she gets it off. She gets the launch speed from bat. She can hit that ball. She hits more solidly than in any high school girl I've seen, without a doubt. And she's known for her home runs because they are just epic. They're bombs. And like I can literally say, like, I think I said this game's tied or whatever I said. By the time it passed the pitcher, I knew. And I got nervous doing it too because I saw her hit a fence, but I didn't realize it was the fence for the neighboring property in a different neighborhood. I'm not even joking. Hit that fence in the backyard live through the trees. So she puts some. But she's also an excellent first baseman. She absolutely is. She can go to the opposite field. The team's full of players like that. Now, the big thing I see and I think is the most underrated, and yet one of the most important things a team needs for success and to climb that entire mountain. And I've noticed the difference in it, is why I bring it up. I mean, you obviously need athleticism. You obviously need coaching, and you need to have players that buy in and listen. I think team cohesion. There's no number. There's no nothing to monitor to measure it, but I think that fits in with every one of those. And I think if you have a team that has more ego than they have cohesion, then you have a problem. And I'm not saying that about anything. All I'm saying is that when you go to Similarity Field, there's two families there. I mean, there's in the crowd that's on hand, and it's a family atmosphere. And the biggest thing is on the field is what I'm talking about. In the dugout, there's no fighting. There's no getting down on themselves. It's crazy. I our coach prided on it, and I prided not to throw anything. Occasionally, I did not succeed. And honestly, no matter who you are, how good you are, he'd put you right down on the bench. But you see none of that. You see they were trailing 7-1 with nobody on in and out, and they were cheering out of the dugout like they were winning. I
Yep.
mean, that is huge. And that transfers onto the field. Lacrosse, same way. We're just further away. So I don't hear, I can hear almost their conversations in the dugouts. I love it. But when you're up in the booth, you don't get the feel. But I mean, I know that that girls squad to go 13-0, 14-0, there's a great deal of team cohesion. They've been playing together forever. They play soccer together. Some play basketball together. Some run track together. Some are doing it all right now together. But it's all about that. These teams have been being built for a while. And before we get into their remaining schedule, I got to say the middle school girls softball team, division winner. They're into the playoffs, won the division. That middle school has such good athletes right now on both sides, boys and girls. It's crazy. I'm not sure what the baseball team did. They may have done just as well. I just read the article about the girls team and about Frankie Arnold. I know Frankie's father, Luke, and man, am I so happy for him. He must be the proudest guy in the world. She's a ridiculous pitcher, and it seems like we keep producing them. She threw one perfect game, mercy rule victory. They went 5 innings. You need 15 outs. She struck out all 15. And just last week, they went to full 7, which is 21 outs, and I think she struck out 15 of those. Yeah, or even more. I think I downplayed that number. But it just numbers aren't realistic, and that team is on its way. So I mean, it's exciting. It really is. And now you hear so much about wrestling. And I've been to the landfill every week I go. I'm looking for my guy because I know that he's big into it. He talked to us about it before, and I don't have contact information for him. But I'm going to get him on the show to let everyone in town know exactly what's going on with wrestling because he's up to the epicenter of it. But yeah, every level, Pee Wee football, Little League baseball. People don't know that Little League baseball last year, coached by Jerry Austin, Todd Gwaldy, 10 and under All Stars were a couple innings from going to Williamsport and representing Rhode Island. They were 10 years old and under. I mean, it's so much fun. Like when this is all over, I'll take a week. I say I'll take a week, and that's only if I blow a vocal cord, and that's due to success. So I hope I do. Um, and I will then head down to the Little League field, and just because why not? Where's there a better place to go kill some time? It's just so much fun. And then PB football starts, 4 Super Bowl appearances in 2 years. It's absurd. 2 different teams, and yeah, so it's so much fun. And winning isn't everything, but what I'm seeing is the approach these coaches are taking. Coach Reyes, especially, and it was so awesome of him to explain to us his approach. And it's not an easy approach. I mean, it's a special talent and gift that him and his wife have, and to be able to be able to give up a varsity job, so to go do what he's doing and then be so good at it. You're going from high school level down to middle school level. I couldn't do it at the football level. I didn't transfer information well, and so you move on, and I announced. But it's just great to see the coaches, and you're watching at the high school level, the dinners at the houses and the gatherings, and the pizza parties at the baseball field, and you're watching cross sports students come to the games. It's so much fun, and the reality of it is Friday after yesterday, this is the weekend everything gets all figured out, and in lacrosse, and their playoffs are right off the run. They'll start next week. Then baseball and softball have to finish up their seasons, and I'm looking at Coach Lovey. He's got 3 regular season games left. Yep. And Coach Spazzato, well, he's in a certain situation. He's got 2 ties to wrap up. A game versus Woonsocket. Where's the baseball schedule? Yeah, all right, here we go. He's got a tie versus East Providence and a tie versus Mount St. Charles. They got to finish. They got to play Woonsocket and they got to play South Kingstown. So they got a little baseball left. And as far as lacrosse, like I said, they're done. And I was told by a pretty good source, a parent, that they already knew that they were getting a first round bye and the next game would be at home. I have no idea the dates. That's the ideal scenario for them. They earned the bye, although I'm not a fan of bye weeks. Unless you're banged up in football, they're helpful. But they'll get their bye in their home game, is what I was told. If that's the case, then they run the same playoff scenario. You'd think the girls would also get a home game, and that's crazy. That's great. So I guess we're not going to have anyone from volleyball on, so let's talk about volleyball. They won 4 in a row when they needed it. This team stands at 8-6, and they were two. I don't know what they were. They won 4 in a row. Let me do the math here. So they were 4-5 in the middle of the mess. They needed to turn it on, and they did. They won 4 in a row, and they knocked off Cranston West, who was 11-0, and actually sent Cranston West spiraling into a 2-game league losing streak in the process. They're a dangerous, dangerous team. They have talent from front to back. Brian Allen and crew in the back. He's been doing it for years. Excellent athlete. Jack Kenyon and crew in the front. Tyler Brayman, and I can't remember the other name. As far as setting, they're a dangerous team. A team that no playoff team wants to really run into. They're a buzzsaw. I mean, they've proven it. That league is very close. The top of the league is 12-2. There's a team with 3 losses, a couple with 4, and the Bulldogs right there. They secured 5th place, and we'll see where that spits them out in the playoff scenario. I'm not sure if they'll get a home game or not. I mean, there's play-in games, but that team with only 2 seniors, you'd consider a team with only 2 seniors, Brian Allen and Jack Kenyon, who have had fantastic seasons. They'll be recognized with accolades when it's all said and done, justifiably. Well deserved. You'd think they'd be in a rebuilding mode. They have not bought into a rebuilding mode. Coach Beal, I don't think would allow them to. And they've been out at every game to fight, and they've been improving every week. They really have. And they have 2 games left. They play at Central in a non-leaguer, and they finish the season with Cranston West, the team they knocked out of the unbeatens. So now they had a tough back end. Their last 5 games, they had to play Cranston West twice. Then they're in first place, previously unbeaten, and Barrington once they're in second place. So it was a tough end. They got that winning streak in the middle right when they needed it, and they needed a big upset this year, and they got it. That's huge for the record, and even more so mentality-wise. So it's going to be fun to watch them in the playoffs. And if they get a home game, we're going to bring it to you without a doubt. And good luck to the volleyball team. And I'm going to try to get Jack Kenyon and Brian Allen on the show. I just don't know their play. I would probably do it after their playoff situations all done. So volleyball in the books, indoor sport. That's the only sport I'm doing remotely because I'm too loud. And they never kicked me out of the gym, but I was taking attention away from where it needed to be and possibly distracted. So I do that.
You kicked yourself out of the gym.
Yeah, because I was possibly distracting. I realized.
So, yeah, so you will not be there. You will not be there for the winter at all.
Yes. No. Yeah. Yes. No. Yes. No. I will not. I agree. But fall and spring right through. So let's go to girls lacrosse, and I will have Coach Murano on and staff because they're fantastic, and I just love to be on the show, love them to have them on the show, and give nobody notice lacrosse. Here we are. So girls lacrosse, what is there to go over? They're 13-0, and they've won by a lot, and they've scored 239 goals. I'm going to do some quick math here on this wonderful new phone I don't know how to even use. There we go. All right. So they're 239 goals.
You finally got a new phone?
Yeah, it came in the mail. No, it's the same new version of my phone because I smashed my phone was broken. So they average 17 goals a game, and they give up 17-6. 87 divided by 14. Let me just double check that number. Yeah, so 17-6. They win by 11 every game. That's impressive. Like I said, first year head coach. I can go any which way. The biggest thing is the team buying in and trusting a brand new coach. Say you're a senior, 1 year left. You got to be frustrated. You got to start all new with a new coach. The transition this coaching staff has made in, I had not seen before. Generally, when There's a new coach. It takes the adjustment period. And Coach Pizzato is going to prove us wrong on what I just said come next fall when he's when he's at the helm of the football team. But Coach Amato and the staff, like I said, they've been so approachable. They've done such a great job transitioning with their players buying in, and they're 14-0. And they are cruising. Like I said, they made it to the Final Four last year, and I don't know how many exact seniors they have in the squad. I don't have their. It's probably within reach somewhere, but I think they have six. Six is the magic number. And I'm not sure. I know on senior night, Hannah Seltzer scored her 100th goal, which is awesome. And I don't want to start listing them because I'm going to miss some. That being said, at 14-0, you're going to earn your bye. There's no question about it. And if
her
that doesn't,
her 100th goal of her career.
100th goal of her career. Oh, did I say season?
No, I just honestly, I just wanted clarification because anything is possible with this team.
You're absolutely right. No,
I mean, I've seen Hannah Seltzer get a hat trick in the first 5 minutes of a game. So.
Yeah. And she's one of those they all are the multi-sport athletes. But they get contributions everywhere. The defense is fantastic. They're so fast, and it's just like they're plugged in or something, literally to an outlet, because they don't run out of gas, man. They just do not run out of gas, and they're fun to watch. And they're also a group of athletes that I've followed for now 4 years. This first group I've been able to follow 4 years and watch the growth and improvement and development in each team in each area. And the first few years I did this, I didn't meet any athletes or whatsoever, but having an opportunity to talk to them on this show, and I'm outside the gate before the games, and I actually have athletes saying hi to me now, which is kind of cool. So it's really cool, and I really, I feel like I'm almost vested in these teams because all of them. I've for 4 years I've actually seen these seniors do their thing, and I got no pony in the race, but man, I'm going to root for them as hard as if I did, and that takes no effort. That just comes natural. So Coach Amato's team doing their thing, they're ready to roll. And if we still don't have Coach Amato, I will move on to boys lacrosse, and I'm going to have some reps from boys lacrosse on. Depends on the playoff run and scenario. They sit at 13-1, and they quirky little division. You got Wesley, you got Smithfield. Last year you had Wesley, you had Smithfield. Regular season and in the state championship, everyone knows Wesley is the defending state champion, so clearly they won in that state championship. They played 4 straight times, all Bulldogs victories, all by a score of 9-8. Had to know that anomaly was going to come to an end at some point. And again, I don't think it was the worst thing in the world. Their loss to Smithfield. They must have won that first tiebreaker because they split head to head. And if the Bulldogs got to buy in the home game, whatever tiebreaker goal scored, I have no idea. But that being said, you got Wesley, you got Smithfield. Now I'm going to throw in Narragansett. And I didn't know Mount Hope had the same record. And I'll give them Mount Hope. But Narragansett's been more pesky with the Bulldogs. And they're a bad draw if you get them. If they're in your side of the bracket or whatever it may be, they're a tough draw, is what I'm saying. So just because you're 13-1, you got your Wesley and you got your Smithfield in that upper echelon, that folks, honestly, I believe if the Bulldogs play at their level, they're going to meet Smithfield again. I think there's that much of a disparity in talent when all the cards are on the table. Bulldogs are on a 2-game winning streak since that game versus Charahoe. I think that they kind of, after that Smithfield loss, kind of leveled off a little bit for a couple of games, and then the Charahoe game was that spark from behind that they needed. And I think they're gonna be gung ho from here, and. Yeah, that being said, I was told they have a first round bye and then a home game, and hopefully that's the case. Fortunately for them, the Charahoe is a non-leaguer, and they've done a heck of a job replacing the losses from last year. They really have. One huge one, if not the biggest, would be Lance Williams face-offs. I mean, that was he left near 75%. I think it was 73 point something, 74%, and that is fantastic. And the only better I've ever seen is that Storrington guy last year, and he was at a professional level from what I've been told. So to that face off, and they've done a great job. Michael Gervasini is a sophomore, number two, taking the majority of them. They have had Perkins, number 29, take some of them. They've actually moved in a lot of different players, especially last night. To get a little experience in case necessary. But like I said, the primary three, I'd like to say, are all right around 50%. In your first year after losing a senior of that caliber, if you can get 50%, that's a good number. That's not a bad number. That number is just going to grow because you're doing it with primarily sophomores. And wisely, you're doing it with primarily sophomores. And the one fun thing about last night's game, because it was there was so many whistles and it was such a score disparity and team disparity. It never had any flow to it whatsoever. But the great thing for the Bulldogs, A, no injuries. B, an opportunity to rest some players going into the playoffs a little bit. But they were smart. They got those players on the field a little bit as well. So it wasn't a complete game off. But they could try things. They could do things. There was flex room in this final game. And they utilized it, and everything worked out perfectly. So the two lacrosse teams are going into the playoffs in the best position you could ask for. They're going in full steam ahead, winning their way into the playoffs instead of backing in off a loss or anything like that. And really, I don't know what should stop them but themselves at this point. I haven't seen the answer. I haven't seen every team play road games, but both of those teams with huge opportunities. Boys team with an opportunity to walk off the seniors back to back, and that's nearly unheard of, man. That's some storytelling for the grandkids and for the gatherings and memories that last a lifetime. And we'll head over to, and good luck to the boys lacrosse team as well. So we will head over to Coach Luppy and the Bulldog softball team on the diamond. And Coach Luppy, he came on early in the year, I think prior to any games, and he told us that this team was a little bit special, and there were some differences in this team, and that he personally had coached them and watched them for a long period of time since they were very, very young at an early youth level, and he had seen their development from that amount of time to his high school team and now through. And without saying such, I think you believe that they have all the pieces that you need to do what your goal is, and they have gone out and proven it. They truly have. I mean, okay, so they're 11-1 in the league now, 11-1 in that their division's no joke, and they generally every year have two or three pitchers that are unhittable. We have a pitcher. We have that pitcher this year, but the Bulldogs have just taken down pretty much everybody else in the league. And I'm going to look real quick in their loss. That wasn't it. We're looking for a late season, so it must have been Johnston. Johnston beat them 2-0. So it's a tough loss. But as the oh my gosh, look at the standings. Westerly 11-1 in the league, and Johnston 11-2. So a 2-0 ball game. That well pitched by Westerly. He's Sophie Valentini, only giving up 2 runs. But obviously Johnston's got a pitcher on their hands. So this record, they could finish with a league record. I don't know. They still have. Holy cow! It's all right. 3 games. So they could finish with a league record of 14-1, and still there's that couple of teams that pitcher comes out and throws dynamite, and could go one way or the other. It's going to be extremely, extremely exciting postseason at Similori. And I love the environment on both fields, but it's a little smaller over at the softball field. I don't know, cozier, and there's up that first baseline. That group of fans are closer, so they're easier to see and hear. Baseball has got fans around the field now, camping out in the outfield in their chairs, tailgating, and they got them in the stands. It's really cool to see. It's a really cool place to be. And I wanted to let Coach Sposato, I got a text. I wonder if he didn't. Okay, 7 minutes ago, he said he'll be on in 10. So
All
we
right.
only have 3 more minutes to waste. Can you do that for me
Well,
there,
we're going to we are excited to have Coach Sposato on. I think it's a fantastic time for a little break right now. So let's go to a quick commercial and say thank you to our sponsors, and we'll be back with Coach Sposato in just a second. Experience local excellence with Roof Right Roofing in Charlestown, Rhode Island. With over 40 years of unmatched expertise, Roof Right specializes in architectural shingles and holds the prestigious title of GAF Master Elite Installers. Known for their commitment to the community and support for local initiatives, Roof Right is your trusted partner for all of your home's roofing needs. Call today for a free estimate at 401-212-4140.
Hi, this is Dan from Lathrop Insurance. In this challenging insurance environment, Lathrop Insurance can be your beacon in the storm to help you find the coverage you need at the right price. Now, more than ever, you need a partner in the insurance industry that can work with multiple carriers to make sure you have the right coverage at the right price. Lathrop Insurance carries home, auto, and business insurance and can be reached at 401-596-2525. We've been supporting the local community since 1939, and we look forward to working with you.
Ever thought about leveling up your fitness game in a fun and meaningful way? Kiefer's Martial Arts on Granite Street has everything you're looking for. Kickboxing, Muay Thai, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and of course, adult karate. It's not just about getting fit, it's about building your self-confidence, discipline, and that unstoppable feeling you get from all your hard work. Stop in to Kiefer's Martial Arts today to sign up.
Are you looking for a fresh cut in Westerly? Step into Rio's Barber Shop in Granite Plaza. Whether it's a classic trim or a trendy new look, we've got you covered. Experience the perfect cut for every age and style in a friendly and relaxed atmosphere. At Rio's, it's not just a haircut, it's an experience. Visit Rio's Barber Shop in the Granite Plaza in Westerly or give us a call to schedule your appointment at 401-315-2208. Your style, our craft, Rio's Barber Shop.
Hot summers and cold winters can be unbearable, but D&V Mechanical has the solution for you. As a Mitsubishi Diamond dealer, we provide energy-efficient and personalized comfort solutions for your home. Our experienced technicians will install your new system quickly and efficiently, ensuring your complete satisfaction. Don't suffer through another season of discomfort. Contact D&V Mechanical today for a personalized ductless mini-split installation that fits your lifestyle. D&V Mechanical, your comfort is our top priority.
What's going on, Westerly? It's Patrick down here at the Wireless Zone at Dunn's Corners, Verizon authorized retailer. And right now is the best time to come on in and get a brand new phone. We are offering our hottest new 5G phones, the iPhone 15, the S24 Pixel 8 for free with a trade-in. And the best part is 5G is finally coming down here to Westerly and the surrounding areas. So make sure you're on the best network and get it for free when you're on the right plan. Come see us at 224 Post Road.
The Thirsty Beaver Hometown Pub and Grub in Dunn's Corners is your ultimate destination for refreshing drinks, delectable dishes, and memorable moments with family and friends. Enjoy live music, DJ trivia every Wednesday night, and we're now the official spot to come watch and root for your favorite Westerly High School sports teams. The Thirsty Beaver, located at 265 Post Road, Spindrift Village, Westerly.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back.
We are back. Yes. Coach is not here with us yet. But that's all right. He will be soon. I am sure of it. I am in the process of making something right now, Greg, that I'm going to upload here and do a little bit of an announcement. Not the big announcement that you know about, but a different announcement of sorts. We are officially tonight starting a new series here on 321 Westerly, which we've done in years past. But I'm very excited to bring it back this summer, and I'm going to be there, joined by my lovely girlfriend Jackie and a whole cast of characters. We'll see what happens every single night, but once a week, we will be emanating live at 8 p.m. from the Mesquamaket Drive-In Movie Theater in association with Mesquamaket Beach and the NBA. We will be coming to you live from the drive-in theater. We are very excited about that. And it should be a lot of fun. Tonight they are doing Barbie, the biggest hit of last summer, comes to the big screen in Mesquamaket, the big screen at the beach, which I don't think I've ever called it before, but the big screen at the beach is officially going to be the new tagline for the Mesquamaket Beach movie drive-in movie theater, because that's awesome. So Barbie tonight, the big screen at the beach. We're going to be excited. We'll be down there at 8 o'clock. Movie starts at 9 p.m. You can get your tickets at mbadrivein.com. Greg, it's going to be a lot of fun. I hope you come down to the live at the drive-in soon.
Do I have to come down, or can I just watch the movie through you?
No, you have to come down to watch the movie.
Oh, I thought you were just filming the movie.
No. So it's going to be a movie pre-show once a week.
Oh,
it's going to be a movie pre-show once a week, and if there are if there are events or something, we might do a live stream. We've done a lot of concerts and stuff down there, so anything is possible. But for now, go check that out. So it'll be tonight. We'll be live at the drive-in, and then
I'm a key component short of that whole scenario.
What'd you say?
I'm a key component short of going there.
Well,
not for much longer.
Soon enough.
Do they take bikes and walkers?
Yeah, absolutely. Walkers like walking in, or walkers like a geriatric?
No, I don't need that.
Okay.
I'm out of shape in life.
No Coach Sposato yet. Sure,
he's in the middle of practice too. He's really just trying to squeeze us in, because they're doing a batting practice is what they're doing. After the batting practice, they're heading out playing Woonsocket. When they're done with Woonsocket, they're going and finishing the tie at Mount St. Charles all today.
Wow. So is he at Similori right now?
Yeah.
Well, if he's at Similori right now, there's a good chance we won't get him.
But yeah. Either way, though, I didn't even mention that. Tough days on these athletes, and they need the wins. They got essentially, Woonsocket, they should, but there's no shoulds at the end of the year. So you got 7 innings versus a Woonsocket team, and then to go and finish versus a Mount St. Charles team, you need both wins to stay up top the heap. And their other tie is versus the second place team in the Division East Providence. So it's not easy. It is not an easy finish. But what I've seen similar in this team as the 2022 team, first and foremost, contributions from everybody. Everybody buying into their role, whether that's starting or coming in when you're needed, or pinch hitting, or just buying into your role and executing it. And I've seen that from a lot of different players on this team. A couple of freshmen. The one pops in my head, Luke Waltney. He was the savior. The reason the Bulldogs had a chance for that bottom of the 7th victory is Luke Waltney singling in the run earlier. And he's a freshman. They stepped in number 8. I'll never forget it. West Side, and he's little to start. He's a freshman, and I was like, oh boy. And yep, no problemo. But line drive right back at the pitcher, right up the middle. No fear these guys have. And I've seen my man James Hooper to get up on that hill, and I bet you batters are licking their chops. And the first time I seen that young man come in, he came into a scenario where the floodgates had sort of opened. Semi-opened on the Bulldogs. I think 2 runs had come in, 2 or 3, and the bases were still loaded. 2 outs. They give him the ball, put him on the hill. First time I ever seen him. 3 pitches, just throws, strikes out the batter. Came in, bases loaded now, mind you. And strikes him out in 3. Gets all fired up on the mound. I've seen him pitch 3 times since then. I've not seen the kid fail. He's done a job every time. One time was inning in change, and one time I think was a batter. And he comes in when called on and gets up there and gets the job done with absolutely no intimidation whatsoever. And I love him. I mean, I love watching the kid play. They got people in the dugout waiting to come out and pinch hit that contribute, and then they have their foundations, which I mean, it starts at batter 1, who's only a sophomore, Grayson Simmons, but yeah, you get into your Drew Bozek, your Jack Tenuta. I'm going to say Tom Fiore, clearly because of what he does, but he's only a sophomore too, and he is dynamite at bat. From what I can see, he's a great right fielder, and he's pitched to a couple victories, so he can do it all sophomore. That piece of the lineup that's a tough out. And then the pitching staff is just the big key. They have the big 2 we all know is Jack Tenuta, Michael Poole. Then they have, I mean, like I said already, they have James Hooper. Zach Minor's taking a huge role. He's got the closer role, the extended relief role. He's got and he comes in and he does his thing. I know I'm forgetting a pitcher. Whoever I'm forgetting, I apologize. But they have the pitching, they have the timely hitting, definitely have the coaching. Coach Susato, one thing about him, he takes no credit. He doesn't take any credit, but even though he's the one that makes a lot of the calls, he's the one who has to make that tough call to walk out, take the ball out of the senior's hand, and say, all right, we got to try to go in a different direction at this point. And you know what? He's got the seniors that return up to hand it right over, and not throw tantrum. You know what I mean? Like, and but that at that point in time was obviously what needed to be done because they immediately went in the other direction, and sometimes that has to happen, and it has almost every game. 13-1-2. 2 of those will be figured out by the end of the day today. They could end up today 15-1-1. I mean, that's incredible. And I don't know what their record was in the other year, but it was close to that. So, I mean, I don't know who to be more excited about. I know that I got my lozenges in the other day, so I've done a nice job of only like completely losing my mind towards the last third. Last year it was just too early excitement, so I've waited. But gung ho for me here as well. I'm just beyond excited, and like I said, I've never seen 5 teams make the playoffs. Never, all 5 in the spring, and then I mean, talk about busy. Coach Rosato's going to jump right over to football. Football's happening now. I mean, that's a year training sport. Thankfully, he's got a great coaching staff, and besides Coach Rosato's thing, because he has, we all know the rest of the schedule. Yeah,
so Monday night coming up, we have the senior night for both boys, for both baseball and softball. And then Tuesday night, I believe we have, hold on, let me.
I got everything.
Ooh. This says that on Tuesday there's a girls varsity lacrosse game now at Sal Algeria against Narragansett. Didn't that just?
I just printed this out this morning. Yep. I did
see
it.
But they did their senior night a couple days ago.
Late pop up. The end of the season now is it's going to be crazy because it's kind of word of mouth. You got to get the right source of when the game is.
Yep.
But so that popped up. So the girls aren't quite done. They might go 15.
And then on Wednesday night we have boys volleyball senior night at Federico Gymnasium. And then that is it for I'm looking right now. That is it for the regular season.
And we'll be in the postseason next weekend and forward.
Yep. And we have some comments here. Hello. Nice to see you guys back. Thank you so much.
It is great to be back. Hey, I got a new phone.
And Carlos. Hey, Carlos. I heard this guy didn't go see you last week. I heard he didn't. I did. Now, I have some bedhead going on right now. What?
Could they hear us?
Yeah, they can hear us.
Oh, I didn't. Oh, but they're typing.
Yeah.
I got you. Oh, there we go. All right, I was wondering why he didn't talk back and why his face wasn't moving. All right, I'm new to some of this technology. Okay, I thought his face was popping up like he was on the show,
Oh.
so I thought I was talking to him. I'm like, he ignored me. I was like shook for a minute. I'm like, I said hi, and he disappeared. All right, I get it. I don't know how the comments even work. I'm gonna be down. I'm gonna be down with like my whole paycheck. But I got to get down there. What I did was I had screwed up my beard so bad. This is a true story. I was going to go. I had my beard so screwed up that I had to shave it all off and let it grow back to a length that they can form my, set me up right now.
All right.
Yeah, it was a reason. My life. So yeah, we got the 5 sports and one other thing I wanted to bring into the scenario. I forgot at this point, so we'll get back to that.
Couldn't agree more. Carlos, been a great 23-24 for the entire. Yeah, absolutely. The entire school has been just killing it all year, and the middle school, right? We have state champions in middle school. We might have state champions again in middle school. I don't know how the softball playoffs work, but that's.
Well, I'll tell you what, they work well when you got Frankie Arnold pitching.
Yes.
God. I mean, this team can hit too. They're full of fielders, hitters, but I mean, I'm just saying. I'm saying the numbers are incredible. And who else was it? I mean, first of all, the high school is set up. I mean, Laurel Oth is, Lila Oth. Laurel's the mother, and Lila, she is excellent pitcher. And if we didn't have a caliber of Valentini on our team, Sophia Valentini, she'd be a starting pitcher absolutely her sophomore year, without a doubt. I mean, they had a 1-2 punch in softball. They just don't, and they've actually been using it a tiny bit, not a tiny bit. I think bringing Lila in because I've noticed her name in articles, which is smart. But like I said, like she would be the starter on almost any other team in the division. So they're backed up with talent and. But backed up with talent does none of these teams any justice from here forward because talk to the seniors about backed up talent. See what they think about that because they want talent right here and now. You know what I mean? They need that backed up talent to perform going forward right here. But one thing I mean I'm going on a limb, but I can think is that these teams, is there going to be a disappointment if they don't win it all? I guess there is in any teams that have had such success this year. They all have goals. They're athletes. They're kids with a competitive spirit. But when you have a regular season like these guys are having 11-1, 13-1, almost 15-0, whatever all these records are, the cohesion I was talking about, these guys they care about each other to a certain level, so they're creating memories already throughout the year. I don't care if you're a freshman, sophomore, junior, senior. Luke Wally is not going to forget that hit, and they're creating memories with themselves, amongst themselves, with their coach, with their own little families here, and with their families that they're going to carry with them. They really are, and it's not just with success, but success helps. Success helps anything. So I don't think any of these teams have anything to be disappointed about, regardless of how it finishes. I really don't, because any sport, I mean, baseball, softball, round ball, round bat, hit it square, good luck, tough task. My point in that is any little thing can send the season in the wrong direction once the playoffs started. And that's as glass half empty as I'm gonna go, because you know me, I'm going to be hyped up, ready to roll. But I just wanted to express that the representative athlete, the athletes that represent Westerly all year long in all the sports, really can hold their heads high. So can their parents and families and coaches, because whatever they're doing right, and that is with or without a state championship. Because the bottom line is, if the kid's grown to be more mature, maybe to learn how to handle situations differently, to might be friends, how to handle adversity, perseverance, That's all in them, and that's what sports provides, even to the teams that don't win the state championship. I didn't win the state championship my senior year. I, in fact, went all the way there and lost it. So, yeah, that's not cool, but I learned from it. I certainly did. I learned probably what it felt like to lose. Fortunately for me, that was the biggest loss I had lost in my life, non-athletically or athletically up until that point. So I'm blessed in that it was only a game, but it was my biggest trauma. Yeah, the world wanted to end for me, but I'll tell you what, going back now, uh, it helps you across to really value things, really be grateful for things, and and I know it's going to do the same for these athletes. And that's enough of my dialogue. I'm no parent. But,
Well, I'm going to say that Coach Spizzato probably had some internet issues as well with a lot of other stuff. So, so we're going to say, we're going to welcome all of these coaches back next week at the end of the regular season. And of course, they have a lot of playoffs to get to. And it's going to be something fun to watch the next couple of weeks to see where these teams go. You just made a fantastic point, Greg. It's not all about wins and losses, especially at this level.
I remember so much stuff about the time spent together, the practices.
Absolutely.
Games.
Absolutely. Well, I want to thank all of our sponsors that help us bring these games to you every single week, bring all of these shows to you, and everything else, the articles, the music, everything that we do here at 321 Westerly. We have a big announcement coming up that we will do. You know what? Let's do the big announcement here on Sports Talk after all of the sports season has ended. So when the championships are all done, the playoffs are all over, we have a big announcement regarding next season, next year, September. So we have a big announcement for that, and we will make that announcement at the end of the spring sports season. Greg, you know the announcement. I'm pretty excited about it.
You'll let me in on the secret. Oh, I am too. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
And nobody knows. I like knowing things that nobody knows.
Yeah.
Yeah. All of that being said, I lost my train of thought because you said my name. Oh yeah. I don't think next week we'll be able to get Coach Spizzato and Coach Luppy. I've confirmed already. But lacrosse is going to be dead heat in the middle of their playoffs.
Yep.
I don't think we're going to be a priority at that moment, so we'll probably get them the week after. But I do have the beginning of what I'm going to call the lineage series coming up next week. You'll learn more as I make up more of it, creating this thing in my mind. But if you do have a child that's graduated after playing sports at Westerly, and a child currently playing sports or currently a senior or something, I'd love to have all of you on a show. And the first one is gonna hopefully be next week, and it's gonna be Mike Garofalo with his son Michael Garofalo, who plays for Bridgewater State University, and his younger brother Matthew Garofalo, who is on the football and lacrosse team, about to finish his high school career. So we're gonna get some sentiments from the older brother first, and then some from the father, and I'm gonna get a little emotional. I'm gonna get him a little emotional.
Yeah, you are.
So, it'll be fun.
Well, thank you so much, Greg. Thank you. I'm glad to be back. It's nice to be back during this. It's been a busy spring, and the best is yet to come. That
message goes out to the McLeods too, because I did line them up. I got to get a hold of them.
Perfect. All right, and we will see everybody tonight live at the drive-in, live at the Mesquamicut Beach Drive-In Movie Theater. And tonight, of course, on the big screen at the beach is going to be Barbie, the biggest hit of last summer. So we are excited for all of that. We'll see you guys down at the Mesquamicut Beach Drive-In Movie Theater tonight. Carol says, thank you for doing this broadcast. Thank you, Carol.
Folks, this is a definite. Here out. Honestly, it'll be, if there's a game in the way, we'll do an abbreviated version, but it'll be elongated from the hour, but it's going to be an every week thing. I will come up with people and things to talk about, and it's going to wrap all summer long. And obviously, it's going to be a little off topic from just high school sports, but whatever it'll be quirky and interesting.
And I just want to say right now, we're trying to figure out what's going to happen on Monday with baseball and softball senior nights happening at the exact same time at Similori Field. We only got one Greg, and we only have one Greg, and baseball and softball are both things that we need to call live. Many times this spring, we have recorded one game, but it's really hard to call balls and strikes when you're not live and there, and it's really hard to, the camera. The ball comes off the bat at 100 miles an hour plus, so it's really difficult to follow that fully with a camera, and to call the game remotely doesn't really work. So we're not sure exactly what's going to happen there. I would like to find a way to cover both games, obviously, because we love the students and the athletes and the families, and the community wants to do both of those things. I'm so glad that the girls have another game for senior night, because last week their senior night game, we do have footage of it. Unfortunately, the audio died from it, which is why that game was not aired. There's no audio on it. There was a technical issue. So we're going to try to make something of that video, a highlight reel or something of that. But happy to get another shot for the girls at home, because they have been just sensational. So I'm really excited about that, and we'll figure out what Monday looks like. But please just know that we're doing the best that we can, and we try to be fair and equal. And sometimes it just comes down to logistics, So
it is what it is.
Yeah, go ahead, Greg.
I said it is what it is. We definitely do our best, absolutely. And you go above and beyond. You just shocked me a couple times. I mean, I don't know if half these people know, but he paid for a rental car just to get us to a game, so we could get a glimpse of the middle school basketball team and get them live streamed through. So I know that Ben will pull all the stops, and if it can't be done, then it just can't be done. And that's it.
Well, thank you guys so much. We'll see you tonight at the drive-in. We'll see you guys on Monday at Similori Field for something. And we'll see you Tuesday at Sal Augeri Field, Wednesday at Federico Gymnasium. And then it's playoff times.
Oh boy, this is what we're all waiting for. This is when
it's going to be a big week, and we'll see you guys soon. Thank you so much. For the voice, Greg Murano. I'm Ben Barber. See you guys soon.
Hey everybody, it's Avery Movie with some do's and don'ts when you come visit the Mesquamaket Drive-In Movie Theater. Do buy your tickets online. Don't bring cash. Do pull up to the stop sign for assistance. Don't park yourself. Do throw your trash in the waste receptacles. Don't be a litter bug. Do turn your lights off. Don't be inconsiderate. Do talk quietly during the movie. Don't yell! Do come to our concession stand to get some delicious goodies. Don't order delivery. Do buy our sick merch so you can look just like me. Don't commit identity theft. It's a serious crime. And remember, do have fun when you come to visit the Mesquamaket Drive-In Movie Theater.